Motion carries with Councilmember Brown voting no. Is there any other, Councilmember Brown voting no, are there any other no votes? Councilmember Brown voting no.
Okay, item
31 is an ordinance. Chair recognizes Councilmember Lasser.
Thank you, Mayor. I tagged this item last week just trying to get my hands around the necessity and the need for this particular item. And I guess as I have looked at it, my recurring thought on this item about allowing for just the correction behind the scenes of non-qualified ordinances leads me to believe that I don't believe the process that as we have it today is burdensome, either to the council or to the legal department to bring those items back to us. So I intend to vote no against this today.
Councilmember Brown.
It seems that council has already done part one of the process here. And either we need to do part two, because this is to bring about uniformity for the codified ordinances we did it maybe a year and a half or so ago. So I'm going to ask my colleague to my left, what he understands clearly that this is part two. If we were, I think we either have to do part two or go back and undo part one. And let me ask you to respond to that, if I may, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember. I see your reasoning. Actually, I might want to revisit it first, because there are not many items that this council gets to review in some respects. I don't think it's burdensome to remind us when we're correcting things. That doesn't mean that I don't mistrust the legal department or anybody else to do that. I just think it's helpful to bring those items back to us and to remind us, particularly I think the non-codified in some counterintuitive way. It even makes it more interesting because it's non-codified, that might be an appropriation, it might be anything else that we've made on an ordinance, and some change may be made, and council's not made aware of that. And I don't personally remember that we've ever said no to any of these, so I don't see how it's a burden to actually revisit the issue. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess it would be up to the city attorney, who is the ultimate arbiter of what changes would be made, etc. Is that something you delegate, Mr. Feldman, or you do that personally, or will do it personally?
No, I do it myself. If my staff comes to me with recommendations, it's not done very often. We've had the exercise under the codified amendment. I would say, Councilmember Laster, the primary motivation for doing it with respect to the codified and non-codified is time. You could wind up passing an ordinance and it can't go into effect until you come back to council to correct something that is entirely non-substantive in nature. And sometimes there are obviously there are meetings where you actually skip a week, and time is of the essence. And we had one particular situation like that, which motivated the change on the codified. Unless you want to call a special meeting of the city council to consider something that's non-substantive in a situation where an ordinance can't go into effect.
Well, if I may respond to Mayor Simpson.
Is
it your time?
Go.
It's Councilmember Brown.
No, I'll wait till after his time.
Thank you, Mr. Feldman.
Councilmember Lasser, if I may respond to something you said earlier, that council is still informed, council will still be part of the process, it simply would not be at the table. You indicated the council would not have a role. The notification to council means that the council members all know what's happening, and I wanted to make sure that that's clarified. Chair recognizes Councilmember Lester.
Thank you, Mr. Feldman. I respect your opinion and I respect your judgment on what is non-substantive. In the future, we may not have a person quite as wise as you making those choices. I don't see that there is a major impediment you've listed one instance that might have had some sort of delay. And I don't remember this council ever saying no to making those changes. I've heard a lot of council members suggest that, there may be a point in which we delegate too many things to directors, which we have no response back to. So it's just simply that point there. So I would say I continue to voice my opposition. Thank you.
There are no other speakers in the queue. I believe we're down to these council members, or the other council members in the back. See none, we'll move to vote on the item. Favoring, opposed, item carries with Councilmember Laster
Agreed.